Alright, man, ADHD is one heck of a thing, man, because I'll tell you why. I came up with this fantasy board game, totally made up, like, last week. I'm only telling it now because I think it's kind of cool, but I know I'm not going to do it, so if maybe someone else wants to take this idea, then they can go right ahead. Knowing for the fact that I have 4 unfinished projects, but in my mind, I used to come up with these crazy ideas, and it just takes me along for the ride sometimes, and the Lord sometimes be trying to bring me back down to reality, and sometimes it works, and sometimes it don't. Sounds a little bit crazy, but it's not, I promise, but it just means I have a wild or vivid imagination sometimes. So I came up with a name for this fake fantasy board game. It's called the Labyrinth of Chance. And I came up with fake character pieces, maybe 3 sets of dice, a little baggie of power tokens, and even how this board game would be arranged. There'd be secret spots of either runes, traps, coins, and then further on in the game there might be where this third dice comes into play, where you start to draw certain cards, and that be the enemy you have to face, some type of thing. Yeah. Anyway, so, and each character piece would have a talent that they can use one time every 4 rolls, okay? I came up with these characters. It would be obviously the knight, the princess, the duke, the dwarf, the elf, the wizard, the reptilian, and the demon. Alright? Because you're Christian, you can't do that. You can't. It's fantasy, okay? The Lord knows that my heart's with them, so. Alright, the knight would have the talent of sword and shield, obviously. This talent acts like 2, but you can only use either or. You can't use one and then roll the next time and then use the other. It's use one, or then you have to pick again in the next roll, the next time with your 4 rolls. The sword can already ensure 12 damage onto an enemy or a player. And then the shield has 77 points of defense. So anytime if you use it for any reason, anything that's enacted on the shield is going to be taken away from it. So you got to be careful when you use the shield. So because, obviously, so. The princess would have the ability to summon the white steed as a familiar. And when that means that player gets to pick 1 through 13 spaces where they want to move. And nothing further than that. So they have to choose how far they want to go up or how little. And alright, and then the duke would have the scroll of inscribe. That means if the duke happens to land on a spot and you pull away this little slot and it's a rune, then you have to reach into this little baggie and you pull out the power token, and it'll have the symbol, the supernatural symbol, and turn it around, it'll have the stats. And the duke will can increase those stats by maybe 25%. Because the scroll gives him the ability to have more enhanced, more stronger, more profound knowledge of that ability, so it gives him the more strengthened version of it. And then there's the dwarf. who has the talent of superior strength. And I think means he can punch, so he can inflict maybe 15 damage onto an enemy or character automatically. Or if he chooses a wall, like within the labyrinth, he can break one wall in the labyrinth and go into another path. The thing is, the way this board is designed, I'm not sure how yet. It's like this little pop-up that goes over the board, and that's the walls of the labyrinth. And so that means if you, at the beginning of the game, normally all the players get to choose the entrance of their desire. But then the thing is, they're stuck on that path up until if they want to choose, if they have a chance to go to a certain direction. Because the labyrinth, you're going to have walls, you're going to have corners. You can either go left or right. But only the dwarf has the ability to break down one wall and go onto another path entirely. So they don't have to wait until a certain intersection or whatever. But they can only do that one time to make it fair. Alright, what was the other one? Oh, the elf. She would have the talent of whispering of spirits. The 6-sided dice would be for moving only. So she could reveal up to 6 spaces of what is ahead of her. Because, obviously only the spirits would know where exactly what is everything. And she would have to close it. And then whatever she rolls, she can either accept what is underneath that spot or not. And you gotta remember, she can only, the player who has this type of piece can only do it once every 4 rolls. So if you choose one time to use it, any other time after that, or 3 or the next 3 rolls, you have to accept regardless of what you step on. So, and then there's the wizard has the talent of fire and healing. So at the beginning of the game, although it seems unfair, but it makes sense if he's a wizard, he already has, at the beginning of the game, he already starts off with a power token of fire and then a talent of healing. Now the healing, to make it fair, can only be used once every 4 rolls. So if you, let's say if you get damaged, it can only protect you maybe up, the healing can only protect you up for 2 rolls, but the next 2 you can't use it. So because it prevents it prevents the player from just healing the previous damage they taken. So let's say if you say, okay, I enact the ability of healing, and if you step on a trap within your first or second roll, you heal from that. But anything other than that, those other 2 rolls are unprotected. If you get damaged when that ability is no more, you can't heal what you got. You can only prevent. Okay, to make it fair. Now here's the twist. Okay, since there are traps on this board game, it can range from minor inflictions to very critical, serious ones. And if any character finds himself losing a lot of health, there's only one way. There's 2 ways to prevent from losing and have to leave the game. Okay, you either ask the wizard to heal you, right, willingly, with no payment. Okay, and then the thing is, the wizard can either accept or deny you. Now, if he accepts to heal you, there's no cost. But if he denies, then you have to sacrifice either a token or a talent to the wizard. And that's how this wizard can end up with other player with other tokens that came from other players. Sacrificing a power token will only heal you to a certain amount, while sacrificing a talent will guarantee full healing. Huh? Alright. What was the other one? Oh yeah, the reptilian would have the talent of longer stride. It means whatever you land in goes up by, let's see, 3. So if you land on the 6, it goes up by 9. And unlike the familiar with the white steed with the princess, you don't get to choose if you want to go up 9. You have to. So it's double-edged sword. You're moving faster, but you're also moving past more slots, and you can also land on something that's more riskier, right? And then there's the demon piece, right? And this one is kind of OP, but I have put little, restrictions on it. The demon can't collect any power tokens, all right? And the only way he can is by making deals with players, okay? Let's see here. Alright, the demon has the power of deception and perception. So even at the beginning of the game, this is after the characters, okay, it's like, after the players already choose their entrances of this labyrinth, they have to walk away or look away momentarily. As the player who's playing the demon piece gets to look at everything. So they already know where is where and what is what. And then they close it. And they can make deals with other players at any time. They don't have to wait every 4 rolls, or they don't even have to wait their turn. They don't have to wait their turn, and they don't have to wait every 4 rolls to make a deal. That's at any moment, at any given time, they can choose to make a deal. And you can make a deal one or 2 ways. Exchange of a power token, a percentage of health, or if there's a certain card if there's a card that the player drew and they do not like what they got, the demon can make a deal to give them an easier target, or to take away the target all the way together, but it comes at a cost, obviously. Thing is, you have to decide if you want to believe it or not, because they'll say, okay, the player who plays the demon piece can look at any other player and say, okay, in the next next third spot ahead of you, there's a rune, and I can move you there, particularly, guaranteed that spot, basically move you there. But for exchange, I want this amount of health, or I want that power token, or let's see here. You have to give up the next thing that you receive. Something like that. It's like it's like whatever. And the thing is, it can be a truth or a lie. So even if you make the deal with this other player and it's a lie, not only did you just make that deal and you lost nothing, just lost whatever. I mean, it's a risky. It's basically it's a gamble, if you want to believe it or not. Now the deception ability, the player can target any other player and make that piece the next roll, have them go backwards instead of forwards. Now, to make it fair, you can't keep targeting the same person. You keep, and then also to make it fair, it's only the power of deception can only be used every 4 rolls. Unlike the making a deal, but you can't keep targeting the same person with every 4th roll. You have to move on to the next person. Alright? Now, the thing is, I was trying to think of how to keep this game interesting. If I should have, like, like, how soon do you, like, draw these cards so you can, fight certain enemies to keep it interesting. And the thing is, I don't know yet because I didn't really think how much health each character has. Maybe 100 or maybe only, 80 health or whatever. I'm not sure if it's going to be, if this game's meant to be long or short. Man, with all this complicated stuff, it sounds like it's going to be long, but, type of thing. But the thing is, I already thought of, like, a certain idea to keep the board game itself interesting, because obviously, after a while, you get used to, you won't start to remember where everything is and know what path to take. Which one is the best, basically. And if, at any point, you can have, like, you can buy these little, like, pamphlets, or it's like a little, like, not it's like a little folder, but it's like a little, like, yeah, it's a little pamphlet you can buy, and it will have, like, a sheet. And the thing is, you can somehow, I don't know how, okay, you could pop open this game board and you could take out the previous sheet and put in a new one. So it's like a new game all over again. So you don't know where everything is anymore. While trying not to look at it, obviously. Because that's the only way you can keep it interesting and new. Is if somehow you could take out, pop it open and take out the old sheet and put in a new one. And so there's new, nothing is there that you knew was there previously, type of thing. Oh, man. Alright, I know it was kind of long. Sorry about my rambling. I just wanted to kind of share it. Jesus bless you and have a good day.